Hello, and thanks for joining me again today. This is Ruth Hamilton with another video for Tonic Studios. Today I've got Stamp Club number 7 and it's called I Love You Very Much. So as you can see and as you can tell from that title, there's lots of lovely little fairy things and little magical things on the die set. We've got a 6x8 stamp set and a 6x8 die set, and I'm just going to give you a little run through these first of all, and then we'll make something really nice with it because it's really cute and I'm sure you're going to love it. So there are 3 little fairies here and here, and I've already stamped these out. That's this one, and I just wanted to see actually what that would look like without the wings, just as a little girl as well. You don't always have to have the wings on them. And this one is sitting on a little toadstool which is here, and I've already lost the die for that. Oh dear, can't believe it, but I was making lots of samples and doing lots of things at the weekend, and I'm sure it's somewhere very safe, but just at the moment I can't place it. But this is the little fairy for this one, and then we've got another little flying fairy here, and a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and then some solid stamps, which is like a leaf frond and a dragonfly and a smaller one, and a few other floral elements here too. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different sentiment stamps as well. And then we move on to the dies, and we've got this large rectangular die, and this one cuts out the detail, so you can use that to cut into the card rather than cut it out. And I have used the two together and made this lovely frame here. So this is what happens when you use them together. Sorry, that's the right way up now. So as you can see, I'm going to be making a shaker card with these. So I've gone ahead and cut some elements out. So this is this large die then cuts out the floral stamp, and this one then relates to this large stamp here, and then you can cut the fairies out. So we've got 1, 2, 3 large dies that cut the stamped fairies out as well, and then you've got You Are Magic, and so you are. So there you are. I am going to put all of these, just tidy them up a little bit and get out my supplies, and I'll show you how to make a lovely little card with these, because I do think you're going to love them. They're really cute. You can have them as colourful as you like, and today while I'm doing this, it's really springy and sunshiny outside. It's the 1st of March, and I know these aren't going to be released until the end of the month, but it's just such a beautiful day. I just feel like something really colourful. So let's get started. So I've gone ahead and used these 2 dies together, and that has given me this white frame with the sort of grass at the bottom and the fronds and leaves hanging down. And then I've used this one again here on acetate, and I've just attached the acetate in behind. And then I have taken some foam tape and I've cut it so that it's really narrow, and I've attached it right round the outside. And you want to make sure that if you're doing that, you don't leave any gaps at all in between it for glitter or whatever to come out of the sides. If that's going to be a shaker, you don't want any of that escaping. Then I just cut the acetate to the same size before I put it in. The die doesn't really cut through the acetate very well, so I just measured it and cut it with my guillotine, and that worked a treat. And then I've cut out this one again. That's just this die, and I've cut it out in the white, and then that's going to fit onto the back. So that's that little bit set aside and ready to start. And then I've taken 2 of the fairy stamps, put them onto my stamping platform, and now I'm just going to ink those and colour them in. And something really exciting I've got today. I've got some really, really lovely new markers from Tonic, and I'm going to be showing you how to use those to colour these lovely stamps. So there's lots of lovely colours here. I'll talk a little bit more in detail about those in a moment or two, but for now I'm just going to speed the video up as I stamp these and then colour them in, but I will put a little list of the colours that I use down below. This that I have in my mind is that there's a little fairy. This is a little scene, and there'll be the little fairy on the toadstool in behind there, and then this one as the little girl, and that's her imagination in behind the acetate. Well, that's my imagination anyway, so I hope you like it. So I've cut the little wings off this, and she's going to be the little girl, but she's dressed in a little fairy outfit. I think I'm getting carried away here, but just bear with me and go along with it. And I'll just set this aside, and as I said earlier, I've lost my little toadstool die, but I had actually already made this one, so I'll just pop that over there. This is the background, and I have taped it off, so there's going to be grass and sky, as I said. I have also got a piece of card which I've just roughly cut into like a cloud shape sort of thing, very roughly. And I've got my dauber and my ink. This is polar ice, and I'm just going to go ahead and add some of that along here. Now that should be enough clouds. I just changed the little pad at the top, and I'll use some of the lime burst ink, and I'll put that along the bottom. It might actually just be easier to do it with a brush, but I'll try it with this and see how we go. No, that's fine. Now that's my little background. I'll take this off, and there we are, and I will attach the little fairy on here. So I'm just going to glue her on here, actually over there. I think I just took a little bit of the paper off with my masking tape, but I'm sure I can disguise that some way. And then I'll put this on, but in between times I need to remember that I've got to put some of these what I've picked out is luminous lily pad hexagons. So I was going to put glitter on, and then I thought as it fell to the bottom it would look white and that would look like snow, and I'm trying to recreate a sort of summery feel of a scene. So we'll not go with that. And I've picked out these hexagons because they're lovely and glittery. They're sort of multicoloured, but they'll fall down green on top of the grass there. So I'll just fix this little bit first, and then we'll move on to the shaker bit. I ended up just drawing some little flowers on. It's actually just little flicks with the bamboo leaf and what's this one? Pink Lady. So it was really just to disguise this little bit that I pulled the masking tape off too harshly with, and then I just added a couple of bits extra on there. So my little fairy and toadstool are glued in place, and this one's going to go on the outside. So I'll just pop this over, and we'll pour some of these hexagons inside. I don't want so much that it's clumpy, but I want enough to make it worth my while putting them in, and this is quite a large area, so yeah, that should be nice. I think that's enough. Now we'll very, very carefully remember that this is the bottom, and very carefully remove the backing from this. I think that's already gone, yes. Yeah, and there. This is not the time that you want to catch your finger on it and not bend that, because it would end up all over your desk. There's always one fiddly bit that doesn't want to come off. Come on. There it is, it's actually already off. There we are. So, the easiest way obviously at this stage then is just to leave that the way it is and pop this bit on top. To stand up and make sure I have it placed right over the top. and evenly, and then just press down. So there it is now with everything in place, apart from this little one that I'm calling the little girl. And I'm just going to take some of this adhesive and glue her onto the outside. So I'm really pleased with the way that has turned out, and all that remains to be done to finish that off now is to attach it to a card. So I just want to pop her on there, on the corner, and it's lovely and colourful. I'm really pleased with the way that's turned out. My card base is a 5x7 card, so I've taken a piece of white, bright white card that's just slightly smaller than that, and then one of the little dragonfly stamps from the set, and I'm just going to randomly, even just off the card a little bit, stamp that over the area that won't be covered by the little shaker element, and that will give a lovely background without using patterned paper to. There's quite a lot of pattern already going on there, so I just want to randomly stamp. I know quite a bit of this will be covered up, but it gives me a better idea if I just go over most of it. Now there's the idea there that the dragonfly is in the background. And I'll just glue my little shaker element to that and then put it onto the card. But I think to define the edges between the white card and that, I'm just going to go around the outside of this piece with some ink. Oh, that squeaked on the desk and that was horrible, a horrible noise. So I'm just going to put my dauber into the ink pad, and first of all you can see it here, what the white would look like against the white, and that defines it more there. So I've finished the card now. I've glued everything together, and then I added some Periwinkle blue sequins sort of randomly over the background, and then added a couple onto the shaker element as well. I definitely do not normally do cards as colourful as that. I normally stick to one or two colours, but I seem to have got rainbow colours in there this time. But I think it works well with the little fairies and the little scene that I was trying to create, and I hope you like it too. Now, the other thing I was going to say before I go is don't forget about these lovely new Nuvo markers. You'll be seeing me using these a lot more often now. They've just arrived in, and they're dual tipped. So they've got a lovely fine point on one end and a chisel nib on the other. They're new, just a little bit stiff to get apart here, but a chisel nib on the other end. And obviously because they're alcohol, they can be used wonderfully together to create layers by just building up the opacity with one colour or adding two different shades together, and then blending the lighter one over the top again just to bring them all together. So I hope you enjoy that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There's a couple of videos there, as I always say this, but there's a couple of videos always in the pipeline and lots of new things coming. So thank you very, very much for a little walk in fairyland with me today, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I look forward to seeing you again. Keep well, keep safe in the meantime, and thanks again. Bye.